People ask me all the time how I became an interior designer, what I did, what my story is, if it was hard, if they have to go to school, and if they should do it too. So, story time of how I became an interior designer and why I chose to do this as my career. First of all, and probably most important, I'm Mary. I am a virtual interior designer from East Tennessee, and every single day I help people all across the country. I take before images of people's spaces. So for example, this is a kitchen that I recently did. My client will tell me their budget and their inspiration, and they'll send me these images of their space, and then I take that image, Photoshop it, and help them visualize what their space could be. I give them a product list so that they have everything, all the links that I recommended to them, so that they can go buy all the things in their image if they want to, or so that they can take all those links and try to find visually similar things, thrifting or secondhand, or reuse what they have, things like that. So now that you know a little bit of who I am, this is how it all started. When I was itty bitty little girl, elementary, middle school age, I was always the artsy fartsy kid. I didn't like sports. I don't like being out of breath. Still to this day, I don't. But I loved painting my nails. I had this little table that was totally stained with nail polish. I loved drawing. I took art classes at our local community center. Like, I even used to paint rocks for fun. That drove my mom crazy. All throughout high school, I continued the art thing. I took the AP art exam, and then junior, senior year, it became time to start thinking about what I was gonna major in college. This was about the time that Joanna Gaines and the farmhouse, modern farmhouse style, was just blowing up all over the internet. Mom and I, we would watch HGTV, and we would watch Joanna, we would see all these transformation shows, the Property Brothers, Love It or List It. We used to watch all that stuff together. I knew I could not be a nurse or anything like that, and so I ended up deciding that maybe I should try to be an interior designer. I knew that, unfortunately, I have champagne tastes, and I would not be satisfied with a starving artist's salary, but I thought that there had to be more opportunity in the interior design realm. So as I'm trying to decide what major I'm gonna pick in college, I ended up applying for this scholarship at the college that I had chosen to go to. Really, I hadn't even chosen to go to that college. The acceptance or not of this scholarship meant me either going to community college for free for a couple years or going to this four-year university. So in order to apply for the scholarship, you had to have 3 letters of recommendation from previous art teachers. For me, I had had the same art teacher for all of the art classes that I had all 8 semesters of high school. So I had to get these 2 letters of recommendation. I had taken a Photoshop class as a sophomore, just to, honestly, as like a filler class. And so I thought, I'll go ask that professor for a letter. He destroyed my self-confidence, and he told me that he would write me a letter, but it would be recommending the college not to accept me into the program, because he didn't think that I had the drive or the determination to practice my skills and to therefore be a successful artist. So as a silly little 17-year-old girl, I believed him, and I was like, okay, I won't apply for the scholarship. Like, I'm not good enough, I won't do it, I wouldn't get it anyway. The night before it's due, I end up submitting my application, and the second art teacher that I had was my art teacher, God love her, from elementary school, who was able to vouch for how much I had grown and developed and curated my skills over the years. Miss Lewis, if you see this, I love you. Fast forward a couple months, and I not only got the scholarship, I was in the top 10 of the 150 or so applicants that had even applied for the scholarship. I accepted it, and I declared my major as interior architecture. So I get to college, I start meeting all these other individuals who are super into the artsy-fartsy stuff just like me, because being from small town, rural Tennessee, everyone's into football and cows. So it was so fun to see like-minded individuals and eventually meet my best friend. Miss Madison and I have been friends since our college days, suffering through building codes and lighting calculations together, at which point is when I realized I didn't want to do commercial design. Post-college, I ended up having a commercial job that ended up not working out. I was actually fired from the position, and thank God for that, because at the time I thought it was my dream job. It was super flexible, I loved the team that I got to work with, and I don't think that I ever would have left like myself. I think I would have just stayed there and continued to do that because it was comfortable and safe, and I thought it was what I wanted. In college, I had always thought how fun it would be to have my own residential design business. And so that door to the commercial team that I was a part of being closed opened the door for me to find the confidence to go start my own business. I thought, I'm never gonna be this young. I'm never gonna have no kids, no husband, no pets, maybe for the rest of my life. So what better time to try than right now? This October, it will be 3 years since I started my little business, and I am shocked to say the least, that this is my everyday life. Now, for the questions that everyone always asks me, no, you do not have to go to design school if you don't want to. There are lots of big names that never went, like Joanna Gaines, Amber Lewis, Chris Loves Julia, and they are nothing if not obvious proof, evidence that you don't have to have a degree to be a successful decorator. I will say though that I think school is very beneficial for every designer. It doesn't have to be a 4-year degree, it doesn't even have to be a 2-year degree. Just like classes in general are so helpful for showing you, exposing you to what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know until you know, you know? If you do go to school for interior design, that makes you an interior designer. If you don't, you are an interior decorator. So what's the point of going to school? Bragging rights? There are limitations for decorators, and you actually can be fined for calling yourself a designer if you don't have the appropriate accreditations. I think the limit for square footage of spaces that you can design, that you can decorate as a decorator is 400 square feet, I think. The difference in decorators and designers are that decorators choose the things that you see. So the finishes, paint colors, the patterns, the furniture, floor colors, things like that. Designers consider and work around the systems of a project. So HVAC, lighting, plumbing, electrical, how you actually physically use the space. They also, though, can help to determine how it looks. So decorators cannot design, but designers can decorate. Anybody can be a decorator. I even think anybody can be a designer, as long as you have the schooling. But there are things that you just can't learn in design school. You can't teach someone to have that creative eye for design, to be able to recognize good design, to be able to understand cohesive color palettes or visual balance. So for that reason, I think that not everybody can be a good designer or decorator. As for job opportunity, I think there's more opportunity in the commercial realm of interior design than there is in residential. That's how I ended up with a commercial internship and a commercial first position right out of college. That's not to say though that your opportunity isn't out there or that you shouldn't step foot into this field because you want to be a residential designer. But starting out in a new field, any field really, you sort of have to be okay with entry-level pay and understand that you're gonna have a few of those bottom of the totem pole projects before you're able to secure your dream projects. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'm cringing at myself making this outro, but I hope you found this helpful. And let me know if you have any other questions about my business journey, my business specifically, or just about me. Okay, I think that's all. Bye.